All right, we're still in 2-6. Let's look at number 11. The good news is they've already drawn me my diagram. I want to find the perimeter and the area. It's really important that you pick up on that there's two things that you're answering here. The next question I'm going to ask myself is the interval. Now, the X and Y intervals can be different. They could be skip counting by different items because they're two different number lines. So you just want to check. And I see something funny going on here. So here's 0. That's always 0 at the origin. This is going to be 2, 4. So we're skip counting by 2s. So this point up here is at 4, 2, 4, 6. Interesting. All right, so if I'm going to find the perimeter, I actually have to find the side length. So I'm again really going to focus in on going, okay, that's 2, that's 2, that's 4, 6. Now, it's halfway. My instinct screams, well, it's a half, but it's not because it's in between -2 and -4. So this is really -3 here. This is going to be 1. So 2, 4, 6, 7 is the side length. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And there's a little half here, but half of what we're skip counting by is only 1. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 7 by 13. The perimeter is going to equal 7 plus 7 plus 13 plus 13. Now, you could write it as 7 plus 13 plus 7 plus 13. It does not matter to me. It's all the commutative property of addition. 26, so that's going to be 40, and you need to put units on there. Area will be 7 times 13, which is 91 units squared. And we're done, but all the tricky stuff was at the beginning. There's 2 parts to the problem. What are we skip counting by? Okay, the next problem assigned is 12, and it also has a diagram for us. So we really need to focus in here. The good news is they're skip counting by 1, thankfully. Mike used a coordinate plane to design the patio, shown at the right. Each unit on the grid represents 1 yard. So here they're providing the units, whereas up here they did not. To buy materials to build the patio, Mike needs to know its perimeter. What's the perimeter of the patio? Well, all of my work is really going to be on this grid. So there's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once I have all the different sides, I know that the perimeter is going to equal 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 6. Now look, I did this in order. 2, 4, 3, 2, 5, 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. I'm always counting, make sure I got everything. 6 plus 5 plus 11. 11 plus 11 would be 22 of something. And then I have to think about what unit was given here. I circled that earlier. It would be yards is the perimeter. And I'm finished. I got 2 problems on the back that are assigned. It looks like it is problem 15 and 18. Oh boy. So we're back to ones where they are not providing a graph. So I am going to go over to the extra graphs that I provided to you. I want you guys to be graphing. It's really, really concrete and wonderful to look at. I'm going to move this off to the side, and I'm going to read it for number 15. I'm going to get my, oh boy, what did I do with my ruler? Uh-oh, I lost my ruler. That's never good. Oh, here it is. Pre-planning, I see 7 and -5. I'm pretty sure I can skip by 1s here. First of all, you should never be working in pen because when you make a mistake, it's final. That's a terrible idea by me, but it does show up better on my videos. So, Janice is building a pool. That's awesome. Sketches the rectangular pool in a coordinate plane. The vertices of the pool are -5, 7. Oops, I didn't. Mark my coordinate grid. So -5, 7, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. That's A. 1, 7. B. C is 1, -1. D is -5, -1. D. Now I'm going to connect those points with my ruler. I do like things to be straight. Now, back when we first started this problem, did it tell me to expect it to be a rectangle? Yeah, it says a rectangular pool. I just want to point that out here. It's a nice way to double check that what I'm doing is correct. If each unit represents 1 yard, so it's telling me that I'm working in yards, how much area of the backyard is needed for the pool? So again, in my word problem, I see yards and I see area. So ultimately, I need to know what the side lengths are. I skip counted by 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 by 8, and I want the area. Well, that's going to be 48. That's not too bad. So I could do it in my book. I could do it on my paper and transfer it, but I know that the area will be 6 times 8, which is 48 yards squared. Units squared isn't acceptable here because they told you you're dealing in yards. Last one. Ooh, this one looks tricky. There's a lot of halves. Oh, and I think I can skip count by halves here, which is kind of nice. It spreads things out. So it's a triangle based on this. So I'm expecting it to be a triangle. I'm going to get my coordinate grid made. And I'm going to skip count by halves. I'm going to take a risk here. Sometimes I make mistakes when I'm working in halves because I really want to skip count by 1. We're going to give this a shot because I actually think it'll stretch it out really nicely for us. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. -1, -2, -3, 3, -3. So you got to be really careful here that you're skip counting by halves, not by ones. All right, so my first point is -1.5, -0.5. I'm down here in the 3rd quadrant, and that's point A. And then B is -1.5, -3. So this is -1, -2, and I have it marked down here. B. And then my 3rd one is at 4, -3. 1, 2. Oh no, see, I was doing it again. 1, 2, 3. It's all the way down here. I gotta be really careful. That's a half 1, a half 2, a half 3. So if you skip count by something other than 1, your instinct seems to be to skip count by 1s, just because that's what we're typically used to. It is the easiest thing to understand. So if you're going to be tricky like me, you really got to be careful. So there's my triangle. The good news is it looks a lot like a triangle. I got to go back to the book. And it says, what's the distance between points A and B? Well, I skip counted by halves. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be wrong. It's 1/2 1, 1.5 2, 2.5. So I would say 2 1/2 units. Part B. And so if I need to show my work, I could say, see my diagram. If this was an online test and I couldn't draw that diagram and I had to explain it, I could say, I graphed the points. Or I could draw myself my own grid. But typically they won't ask you for that kind of information unless it says the words explain. Give the coordinates for 2 points that are 8 units from point C. Ooh, tricky. Let me think about that. 8 units from point C. I'm going to think about that for a second. If this is point C at 4, -3, I could go 8 units that way. I could do 8 units that way. So there's 4 possible answers here, and they're only asking for 2 of them. So I could do 8 in that direction, and 8 in that direction, 8 in this direction, 8 in this direction. So your answer could be any of the following. If I go up 8, and I'm already at positive, well, wait a second, I'm at -3. If I'm going up this way, I'd have to go this far would be 3, and then I'd have to go 5 more. So that would be 4, 5. Would be 8 away from C. And then here, I'm already at -3. If I go down 8 more, that's going to be -11. So it would be 4, -11. And then if I'm going left and right, if I'm at 4, I'd go 4 this way. I'd go 4 more that way. So that'd be -4. And then my y would be the same. If I went this way, I'm already at 4. I'm going to go 8 more that way. That'd be 12. Let's see if I got it right. I'm going to check the answer key over here. 12, -3, -4, -3, 4, 5, 4, -11. Whew, passed. So you would have to pick any two of those. And you'll notice how I was kind of working it out here with my arrows to my axes. All right, thanks so much. Bye.